I just bought another project car. So the story behind this thing is actually quite unusual, so let me bring you up to speed. Now this Honda Prelude right here was bought by an American soldier who worked at a US Army base here in Germany. He bought it with the intent of shipping it over to the US and keeping it forever. This however did not work out because of the Prelude's technical issues, and I'm gonna get into that later, but at the end of the day he was basically forced to let the Prelude go. So this is where I came in. I shot him a deal. He was like, okay, let's do it. It was a little complicated because I basically had to import the car to Germany even though it was already located in Germany, because it's officially considered a US vehicle since it was registered under the US Army base's name. But after getting that over with, I picked up the Prelude, went back home, and here we are. And wait till I tell you what I actually paid in total for what I would consider the most underrated Japanese sports car. First, let me take care of something that I always do when I first get a new car, and that will be cleaning it, getting rid of all of the trash inside out. Well, at least we get some free money. Looks like the previous owner had some ladies over. And dude, even a dime. Literally an American dime. I don't know why that was in the door card, but gonna take it. Okay guys, so far the interior of the Prelude is all cleared out. Well, I will still need to go over everything with the vacuum and some tissues and just clean up everything very nicely. But for now, it is somewhat cleared out. So let's go over all of the valuables I found. First of all, some money actually. We got €2.50 American cents. For some reason, a scalpel. This is actually going to come in handy. These are power steering caps. Yeah, I don't know why he ordered two, but these are actually brand new, so who am I to complain? Power steering fluid, engine oil, some cool fluffy dice. Now apparently the guy has also put this weird footwell lighting inside his car, but he didn't even wire it in properly. He just plugged it into the cigarette lighter port. Anyways, we're gonna get rid of that because it is not even properly attached to anything. It's just flopping around and getting in the way. But just vacuuming out this car makes it already feel much, much nicer, honestly. Once you clean it up a little bit, it actually reveals a shockingly clean interior for such an old car. Guys, I'll now keep cleaning up the interior a little bit, vacuum out everything, get rid of all of the personal belongings of the previous owner, and then I'll get back to you once it's relatively clean. Because honestly, this is much more work than I anticipated, and this is probably the filthiest car that I've ever picked up. So yeah, this will take a while. See ya on the other side. And guys, would you look at that? This looks insanely clean. It literally looks like it just came out of the factory. All of the carpets are clean again. I also went over all of the plastics, the door cards, the dashboard with some trim restorer. This made it really nice and shiny and clean again. And to prevent this beautiful clean carpet to get dirty again, I also got some new floor mats for the Prelude. Right, in you go. Oh my god, that looks incredibly nice, especially compared to the old ones. It even has a hole in it, dude. And of course on the passenger side as well. Honestly, floor mats really changed the entire interior of the car. But while cleaning, I couldn't help but notice that the previous owner has actually put a steering wheel cover over the steering wheel. You can just barely see it right here. I'm gonna take this off because the steering wheel cover is completely wrecked anyways. So either way, I will have to get rid of this. I'm a little scared to see what's underneath this because there must have been a reason why he put a steering wheel cover over it, but it's definitely gonna be better than this. At least I hope so. All right, let's see if we can get this off in one piece. This is literally like actually professionally stitched on. I really hope that underneath all of that, it looks a little better. Oh my god, what is that? That's literally electrical tape. What the hell? Okay, I mean, I expected it to be bad, but like electrical tape? What the hell? I guess I'm just gonna use the X-Acto knife that I found in the car. I think that will make my job a whole lot easier. And yes, actually, oh yes. Okay guys, I mean, I did not expect much, but I did not expect this. The entire leather from the original steering wheel is just peeling off. They try to somewhat fix it with some electrical tape or whatever that is. But yeah, it seems like I'm either gonna have to reupholster this steering wheel myself or give it away to someone to do it for me. But I think the easiest and cheapest method would just be to head on eBay and find a used one in a semi-good condition, because that's actually insane. I did not expect that. The interior is done except for the steering wheel. I think I'm gonna send it away. I really thought about putting an EP3 or a S2000 steering wheel in it, but I looked them up and they're just way too expensive, so I'm probably just gonna send the steering wheel away and get the original one reupholstered. Anyways, interior is done for now. Before we fix all of this rust and the Bondo, just look at how much body filler they already used, dude! Anyways, before we take care of that, I really want to take it up on the lift and see what this thing looks like underneath, which I'm a little scared about. Let's do it. Anyways. Okay, car's on the lift and oh my god. Anyways, let's look on... Oh, dude. Let's look underneath the car, and dude, that's actually kind of clean. It's kind of funny, just look at this side, nice and clean, just some surface rust, not a big deal. And then boom, look at this side, full of oil. What the hell? It's just dripping down from up here. I think it's not the oil pan, maybe a little bit. But all of this fluid actually comes from the power steering reservoir, because apparently a power steering line is cracked. So I guess that's our main issue when it comes to leaks. But honestly, look at the condition of the underbody. There's literally no rust at all. I know some of you are probably gonna say, oh, there is rust, but this is actually just surface rust. That's totally normal for a German car, because here during the winter time, they're actually prepping the roads with road salt, and that's just what happens to these cars. They get some surface rust, it's not a big deal. We also got a SRS exhaust. I guess these mufflers don't do much anymore because this thing is extremely loud, and by extremely loud I mean like extremely loud. And honestly, compared to this baby right here, the RX-7 is actually super quiet, and that says a lot because the RX-7 is already loud. Everything looks to be in a great condition down here except for this gas tank strap. Oh my god. Yeah, and in the back, it's just the same as in the front, just some surface rust. This is really not a big deal. I know it looks bad, but as long as it's structurally sound, and well, it is, everything's fine. Now, the previous owner gave me a list on what I need to fix about the Prelude, and one thing on the list was the rear dampeners, and yeah, they're already a little leaky. Definitely gonna have to replace the shocks in the back, but actually so far I'm pleasantly surprised by this. Let's take some wheels off. Let's go! Oh yeah, by the way, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. But also, why are you not subscribed yet? But jokes aside, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. This tremendously helps out the channel and motivates me to make more of these videos, so make sure to also hit that like button. Alright, let's have a look at the rear left. So it seems like the brake discs have been replaced recently, and by recently I mean like probably in the last 2 or 3 years. They don't show any signs, like any major signs of wear. Yeah, the brake pads also seem to be fine still. Now, one thing on the list that the previous owner told me I should replace are the torsion bar end links, and I don't know why I should replace them. The rubber bushing still looks fine, it's not cracked at all. I think in this case I'm just probably gonna save the money and not replace them. They look totally fine actually. Yeah, but not so much this bushing up here. This is totally torn apart. I'll definitely need to head online and find a replacement for this ASAP. Bushing down here is also cracked a little bit, but I think we can get away with that at the main inspection for now. Now don't worry, in the future I'm definitely gonna replace everything regarding the suspension, all of the bushings and stuff. But for now the main focus basically just lies on getting this thing through main inspection and getting it street legal for the German roads. And I think we should be able to get away with some things here and there. Let's take a quick look at the front before we head on over to, well, the underneath of the car and try to figure out where the power steering leak actually comes from. Oh yeah, I already do not like what I'm seeing here. Everything is full of oil, well, in this case power steering fluid. Brakes also already show like a huge rim, so I'm definitely gonna have to replace the rotors. Brake pads are actually brand new. But yeah, just look at all of this grime. This is all power steering fluid that's just coming down from over there and being dispersed by the wind, I guess. Well, at least all of the bushings were lubricated nicely. But looking at this, I'm quite thankful that none of that power steering oil, it's basically oil, none of that got on the brakes while I was driving it back home, because that would have been not so fun. No brakes on a highway are never fun. Yeah, it looks like we'll need to get rid of this under tray to have a better look at things. And there it goes. Huh. Oh well, we got a free power steering reservoir cap, I guess. Alright, let's have a look at this. The subframe actually looks completely mint. Of course, some surface rust here and there, but that's actually totally fine. And a big power steering leak up there. It's just dripping down everywhere. So it seems like it is that black hose right there that's going to the power steering reservoir. It's even leaking onto the AC compressor down here, onto the belt, which is not good at all. Let's pop the hood. So this is the power steering reservoir right here, and this down there is the black hose that we just saw from the bottom. But honestly guys, let's take a quick second and look at this engine bay, because apart from this mess right here, this is actually a very clean engine bay. You can imagine how surprised I was when I saw the condition of this engine bay, especially compared to the condition of the exterior of the car. Yeah guys, but with a lot of cleaning and some time, this engine bay is basically like brand new. First side quest for today, I just noticed that our throttle cable seems to be a bit loose. I just want to tighten that up real quick. Now let's have a look at this power steering, oh my god, power steering reservoir right here. I think I might just completely unbolt this real quick just to get to the hoses a little better. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a power steering reservoir. And by the looks of it, I already found the... Yeah, there it is. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's a big old crack in this hose. No wonder it was leaking everywhere. Honestly, I kind of don't know why they didn't fix it earlier. Like, this is such a obvious and easy fix. Yeah, I might even have like a fitting hose here as a replacement. Let's see. I think I might have one. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so this should in theory be a 10 mil. Let's see if this fits. Ah, and it does. Like a glove. Let's install this thing. All right, I'd say let's give it some fluid, start it up and see if it's still leaking. Seems like we got no more leaks from the power steering reservoir. Now I'll just need to pressure wash and clean all of this fluid in the engine bay just to make sure that it's not leaking anywhere else. But at least on first glance, it is not dripping anymore, which is an improvement. Alright guys and girls, I'd say that's a successful side quest completed. Now this is also the point in the video where I want to know from you, what do you think? How much did I pay for this rust bucket right here? Keep in mind when you leave your guess in the comments below that these cars with the V-Tec engine actually go for 5,000 to 10,000 euro in a good condition and depending on the trim here in Germany. So I'm very curious about your guys' guesses. Also, let me just say that in the next video we're gonna be taking care of the exterior of the car. We're gonna fix this, we're gonna fix this, and I think most importantly this. And also, of course, all of this Bondo and rust, we're gonna get rid of all of that. And this is also where I need your help, because as you can see right here in the reflection, the paint on this car is not that good anymore, and I think I'm not gonna be able to save this paint anymore without completely respraying the entire car which is what I do not want to do. So I'm actually planning to give this car a wrap. And this is where you guys come in. Let me know in the comments below what color I should wrap this car in. Honestly, I was really thinking just wrapping it completely metallic black and completely blacking it out, because as you can see right here, we already got the blacked out headlights. And if I combine that with some tinted taillights and some completely blacked out wheels, I think this is gonna look pretty cool, especially if I put some red Honda logos on. Now, since we're taking care of the exterior of the car in the next video, I want to take the time in this video to take care of all of the technical issues the Honda Prelude currently has. And that would be the power steering leak, which I've already fixed, but most importantly, the front brake rotors. They have a ginormous lip and I really want to get rid of that. Yes, sir. There's nothing better than brand new brake rotors. Okay, this should be pretty simple. There's just one bolt right here, then I will be able to remove the inner part of the brake caliper, remove the brake pads, and then there are just two more bolts back there, which enable me to completely remove the brake caliper, which I'll need to do because obviously brake discs, whatever, you know the drill. All right, and there you go. There we got our one piston down. One piston caliper. I'm just gonna tie this out of the way with some zip ties to make sure the brake line doesn't get damaged. Let's go! One brake disc off. Alright, now let's put our brand new brake rotors on. I cleaned up the surface a little bit, so let's put these fresh ones on. Alright, our right brake rotors have also been replaced, and that means we can take it for a rip. Now guys, of course, we're not done yet fixing this thing up, especially from a mechanical standpoint. I still need to fix the rear shocks. I also ordered a pair for the front because, you know, while we're at it. But these parts are not gonna arrive until the next video, so in the meantime, let's just take it for a rip anyways. Alright guys, second gear V-Tec pull. I apologize for the granny shifting, by the way. I feel like the synchros, like either the clutch or the synchros in the transmission, are not that good anymore, and I really don't want to force the gears in. Might have to do a fluid change, that should sort it out, but for now, let's just stick with granny shifting. One more pull won't hurt, right? Brakes work, that's a good thing. And guys, I know it doesn't make a lot of power. It's right around like 200 horsepower. I think this specific one is actually around 185 because it's a Type SH. But seriously, you cannot get more bang for the buck with this car. They are getting more expensive, and there's a reason for that, because people notice that these cars are actually super underrated and they are extremely fun for the money. And I know it doesn't compare to an S2000 or to these other V-Tec powered Honda engines, and I also know that the V-Tec doesn't kick in as hard, but that does not change the fact that this car is extremely well balanced. It handles so well, the power band is so usable, it has quite a bit of torque in the bottom range due to the 2.2 liter, and it just has this classic Honda sound. Can't go wrong with that. Guys, I'm heading back to the shop now. Let me know in the comments below which color I should wrap the Prelude in. And also let me know if you would ever consider getting yourself one of these, because I feel like these are overlooked many times and they're super underrated. I love them. They look great, they sound great, they feel great around the corners. What else do you want? I'll see you guys in the next video where we'll take care of the exterior of the car and completely transform it. Subscribe.